Looky here. What I am learning about parenthood is that one of the scariest things about parenthood is going to be, has been for me, is that every single time your toddler gets sick, as he is introduced to the new germs of the world, sometimes the doctors ain't gonna know what's wrong. Okay? And one of my pet peeves is telling people that my baby is sick and he's got a fever, and it's his, I don't know, 4th fever in 3 years, and every single time I take him to the doctor says, just keep his fever down and keep him hydrated, and if the fever still persists after, another couple of days, bring him back. So after going to the doctor 3 or 4 times and hearing that result, you begin to adapt as a parent, and you say, okay, you begin to learn this is normal. Toddlers get fevers because they're often introduced to new germs and stuff that they've never encountered before, and their little body has to build up the immune system to it. So what I have found is that sometimes when I share with people, my baby is sick, the first thing some people do is, oh my goodness, did you take him to the doctor? And it's like, no. And then they're like looking at you like, this is very serious. You really need to take him. His fever is really high. First of all, my child is hot-natured. So if you check his temperature on the regular, his regular temperature is like 98.7, 99, Fahrenheit, which means he's a hot-natured person. His body is hot-natured just like his dad. He was hot inside of my body, okay? So I know from that experience of pregnancy, as well as, knowing his father's body and comparing the two, like they're very tropical people. They're very hot natured. I don't know if tropical and hot nature go together, but my husband is from Jamaica, so he's tropical, and he's just a hot natured man. He has a really, really high metabolism, and his temperature is always like slightly higher than the average person. So it's not like, I think average is like 98.3, but my son and my husband are always like closer to 99. So that tells me that when my son has a fever, his fever that, may be 101, which may be really, really bad for somebody else, is like a low grade type fever for him. Right? So I've learned that. And so I do try to keep him cool, though. I do try to keep him cool, because we did have a seizure episode once when we were in Jamaica, because his fever rose entirely too fast for the first time, and he was really, really sick. But for the most part, all the other fevers, I'm learning. And then I'm learning that other people are telling me, like, yeah, when they're toddlers, they go through a lot. They do get sick, sometimes, often, blase, whatever. That's another one of my pet peeves. I feel like I don't want to tell people when my baby is sick, because they're like, oh, did you go to the doctor? What did the doctor say? And I be so frustrated, because I be frustrated that the doctor don't know what in the world it is. So this most recent time, we went to the doctor, and the doctor says, yes, she might as well have said, we're going to say it's Roseola. She didn't say that, but she was like, yeah, he has Roseola. But in my mind, I'm like, he just broke out in these hives like this afternoon. It was the 5th day of his fever. We kept it down. But of course, you keep it down with the ibuprofen for whatever reason. My child's body has stopped responding to Tylenol. He needs children's ibuprofen to break his fevers. And so we give him the ibuprofen, and it'll go down for a little bit. And then he'll be fine. But something about my son, all through his fevers, he's sick, but he's happy. And he'll tell you, I'm sick, but I'm happy. You know, he's got all his energy. He's still doing everything he's doing. He actually seems to have more energy. His language seems more clear. He seems a little bit more alert. I don't know. It's really weird. But maybe it's just me having that keen mother sense to when he gets sick. Because I can just tell, I can just feel it when I'm looking at him. I can see the glossy look in his eyes. I can hear it in his voice. And I'm like, something is off with you. You just know your baby when you have a connection with him. But anyways, my son was on and off, bouncing up and down between this fever for 5 days straight. We giving him cold baths, ibuprofen, popsicles, keeping him home, blase. And on the 5th day, right when we decide to take him to the doctor, he breaks out in like these hives all over his body, on his arms, on his legs, you know, and all of this stuff. And I'm like, this is odd. And he's scratching and he's getting these webs on him. So I'm like, what's going on? And we get to the doctor. They're like, oh, yeah, because of the rash, he gets roseola. He's got roseola. And in my mind, I said, so if he didn't have a rash and we would have brought him in here 2 days ago, what was you going to tell me it was? Well, you know, they just oftentimes, you know, toddlers are being introduced to the world and, you know, he goes to daycare. Ain't not a nan kid at his daycare has roseola. Nobody at the church has it. So I'm asking the doctor. I know they do not want to see me coming because I got to look. I may not have graduated from biology at FMU, but let me tell you, I still got the smarts, okay? I did. I was a super senior. I did my biology. As far as I'm concerned, I got a degree in my head. So I'm like, well, if nobody around him has it, is it possible that the children around him, one or two of them maybe possibly have it, but they didn't respond to it? And they're like, yeah, you know, that could happen. But then I'm just like, something just don't sit right. I think it was something different. It could be roseola. I don't know. But I just find it weird that none of the children at his daycare have it. I don't believe any of the kids at the daycare at church have had it. I didn't really ask. I probably should. But, I mean, I wonder how many days it takes for it to pop up, like the symptoms to actually act up in your system after you come in contact with it. Either way it goes, there has been other times that he went to the doctor and the doctor could not pinpoint exactly what was wrong. Once it was an earache. This time they're saying roseola. When we was in Jamaica and he got sick and had that seizure, it seemed like he had got his sister's cold. So let me tell you, my child's immune system is having a workout. So he gonna be a really healthy grown man. But there has been times where he just had a fever just for no dang on reason. And there was a reason, but sometimes these doctors don't be able to pinpoint it. Woo! Anyways, life as a mother. You know, I used to say, I want 3 boys. I want 3 young men so I can contribute my young men to the world. You know what? I think these 3 young men are going to be the grandsons. They're going to be my child's children because I don't know if I can handle no more of this, you know? The Bible says that the God gives you what you can handle. He gives each tribe leader the amount of people in his tribe that he can handle. That means that maybe I was only meant to be a mother of one, because look, I be looking at these bras that got 2, 3, 4 kids, and I'm like, all of them got different personalities. And look at here, my house would be toe up if I had 3, 4, 5 kids. Okay, I ain't doing it by myself. I believe I'll be in an unhappy relationship just to have help with children. Because looky here, it's a full-time job and some. Anyways, I'm going to binge watch TV until lunchtime, and then I'm going to get up and be about my business for the day. Because I deserve it. I deserve it. I deserve it. To binge watch TV, even if it's only sometimes.